when you have to create a new team on the other side of the country just to get some stories in the media that aren't about player agents completely stuffing the game up and an endless sin binathon driving fans mad, you know you need to look at LOYG.
Nice.
Yes, welcome. That was a joke at the start, by the way, not a tepid take. I don't think that's why we have the Bears back. Stu here, Dave there, hello.
Good day, how you doing?
Sensational. And, Ben, hello, sir.
G'day, Stu. G'day, Dave. As always, pleasure to be here.
Oh, say g'day to the rugby league.
G'day, rugby league fans.
Yeah. Bears are back.
The Bears are back.
Well, I don't know if it's officially been signed off, has it? It's just been in the papers that Bears are back.
Well, look, we've gone so far as to name their starting 17 on multiple websites.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think we're safe to say that the Bears are back.
I hate those. It's not been in news for a week and people are naming what they think are their starting sides.
Yes.
Never mind a salary cap. Like, seriously. Payne Haas and Jerome Hughes. And
Pappenhausen.
And Pappenhausen. Like, how many, come on. They will have a salary cap.
Well, that's because when the Western Reds folded, all their players went to Melbourne. So they're thinking maybe it'll just go the other way this time.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Or maybe their salary cap is the entire Western Reds salary cap that they would have spent if they were still in the league for the amount of time in the intervening years.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's not bad. That's fair, I reckon.
I think that's pretty good.
Oh, well, then that works. Some of those teams I've seen might be okay then.
All right, so who cops the Adelaide Rams salary cap then?
That's a really good question.
No, don't answer it. We'll put that to the listeners. Good. Who cops the Adelaide Rams intervening year salary cap? Right in Tepper Takes Facebook group.
I think it's funny. It was only a couple of weeks ago the Bears or the Perth team was dead. There was no deal to be done. The Western Australian government had to do X, Y, Z. Wasn't going to happen. Dead. And then and after Easter, it's an Easter miracle. The Bears have arisen.
Oh, that's just PVL playing hardball, like swinging his big sack around, I think, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm sure that's it.
I don't want to picture that.
Well, too bad.
Late.
Yeah. And I'm in a bit of a pickle, I've got to say, because I'm not sure that I've said this story on this podcast before, but I might actually have a third team. I might have to switch allegiances yet again, because the Bears, like North Sydney Bears, traditional area is the area I'm living in now. So realistically, should I be going for the Bears?
This becomes a very difficult jersey to put together. Right, if you were going to have a three-way jersey on, how sometimes they have a split jersey where you might have one side for one team and one side for another. How do you do that three ways, Stu?
I don't know. I'll very quickly tell the story because that might not make sense to people. So growing up, I went for the Cronulla Sharks. Whoop-de-doo, you're thinking, you go for them now. Well done. But at some point, I think I was about 12-ish, 13-ish maybe, I kind of went, what am I going for the Sharks for? I'm only going for them because my dad goes for them. I want to be my own man. And so I started going for the Knights throughout my teens. Now, that happened to coincide with the amazing 1997 Grand Final win. And then by the time the 2000 or 2001? Shit.
2001.
2001, yeah. Grand Final came around, I'd actually stopped following league altogether. So I went through a period for a decade, maybe between 2000 and 2010, where I just didn't follow league at all. And then when I came back into the fold of rugby league, going, I might watch a bit of league, see. I kind of felt, well, it was stupid to go for Knights. Why am I shedding off my family's tradition of going for Sharks? So I started going for Sharks again. Does that make me a weird turncoat? Possibly. But that's my life. That's my story. I'm sorry. And now, I don't know. Is it happening again?
I have a question.
Go on, mate.
From what you've just told us, you went for the Sharks and then you switched allegiances. So the first time you switched allegiances, the Newcastle Knights then went on to win 2 premierships.
Yeah.
Then you put a plug in it and then came back, switched allegiances back to the Sharks, who then went on in a few years' time to win their maiden and still only premiership.
Yeah.
So now are you telling us that if the Bears come back into the league, you are a chance to then flippity-flop to the Bears, which would then mean, by that rationale, in the next 3 to 6 years, the Bears are a chance to win the premiership?
That is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying.
Okay,
when I started the story, that's what I was getting to. But I just want people to understand that these were not reactive. I didn't go for the Knights because they won a premiership. It was before. Anyway. Any other thoughts on the Bears, Perth, Bizzo?
What's confirmed? Anything?
No.
They're starting 17.
What's confirmed is people frothing, and you've got Billy Moore and Greg Florimo chatting it up in the media about how it's all going to run.
Gary Larson's even bringing out some
Farside comics
words out of that.
Oh, sorry. I thought that's where you were going. Sorry. Gary Larson. I hope he's not talking. No one wants to hear that.
He'll be the voice of reason.
It's all in written. It's all written in letters. Handwritten letters.
Not that he hasn't got anything good to say. It's just how he says it. That's an official quote. Okay? You can take that and run with it.
Wow. Is that drive-by?
Yeah. I think, well, I'm sure he's just been punched in the throat about 80 times playing League.
Yeah. Speaking of which, someone brought up this week about they saw an old Darren Lockyer interview before he got hit in the throat.
Yes.
He had a velvety voice. He got hit in the throat, and now he's gravelly man.
Yeah, he could have fit into human nature very nicely, but yeah. But yeah, you got Billy Moore and Florimo talking about how it's all going to run like it's going to be a 100% Norths run thing. I think they're going to be a bit surprised. Anyway.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
We're spending a lot of time talking about something that I don't even know has been officially signed off yet.
Fun to talk about, though.
Yeah. Guys, I don't really want to talk about the Sin Bin Marathon, do you?
I don't like talking about refs or...
Yeah, I know.
Things like that. It's pretty hard to miss it this week.
I think my favourite thing about that particular issue, and it's outside of that, but what Batuta put up today around the 8 West Tigers being put on report for the head high tackle on Dewey when he kicked the penalty goal was the best thing to come out of the weekend.
That's great.
That was great, yeah. And also, I wouldn't be so frustrated by it if it wasn't for what Angus Crichton did to poor old Lachlan Ilias's head. Did you guys see that?
I haven't seen it.
Knocked him into reserve grade?
Knocked him straight into resis. No, but Angus Crichton had the ball. Ilias tackled him, took him down, with Angus landing on top of him, and Angus was just forearming the crap out of his head.
Ouch.
Looked so much more vicious and damaging than half the sin bins on the weekend. But
and the floppy wrists into the chin of a falling player.
But I even saw a sin bin with contact to a neck.
Yeah. But nothing happened to him. That's the thing that pissed me off most over the weekend. Because the bunker was clearly going back several plays to stop things.
Hang on, we're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're not talking about it. All I'll say is, I'll say one thing, and that's, if you're getting annoyed at the refs, you're an idiot. Because they've clearly been told to do things this way. So if you work for somebody and they tell you what you got to do, you do it. Like you can't...
That's what the money's for, don't they say?
Yes. It's called chain of command. Anyway.
Did you see Desi get in trouble this afternoon?
No, what happened?
Haircut?
No. He's still the mad scientist. He called out Abdo
For a fight?
on the crackdown that isn't a crackdown. Yes.
You called him out for a fight?
2 men into 1 man leave.
Right. So what? Did he say... Hazza say, I'll wait for you in the car park. There's a flight in 2 hours. Get up here.
Maybe that's why David Fafita's been dropped from first. Because he needs him as his champion.
All right. Is there no one else?
I thought you were going to say they hadn't picked enough fullbacks in their side, but
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah,
we'll
he's
get to
got
that.
he's in resis this week. He's just to get some fullback mileage under his belt, so he can come back at fullback. Yeah. Let's talk about some footy, fellas.
sounds good.
Again, crazy round. I don't remember feeling this way watching football last year. In that most games, I'm going anything's going to happen here. Anything could happen. Broncos Dogs. Broncos smashed them in the wet. It was a wet weather tutorial, let's put it that way, of how to play in the wet. Adam
It
Reynolds.
didn't stop Adam Reynolds, though, playing like it was a dry Sunday afternoon.
Amazing.
The most ludicrous first 30 minutes of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Perfect.
I probably hadn't thought about this before, but Andrew Johns said it this week. Adam Reynolds, best kicker in the game probably for the last decade or so. All forms of kicking, I suppose, is what he's talking about. Didn't take much for the Dogs' formula to get disturbed. And when it got disturbed big time.
Yeah, the beaker broke.
Yeah, what was going on there?
Payne Haas was just tearing him.
Absolutely. And I know you got sin binned for, passing wind on the weekend, but all their sin bins seemed pretty justified, including one that wasn't a sin bin, Tupanua kneeing someone in the head while he was running up.
That's probably the worst thing I saw over the weekend, and that didn't get sin bin.
Yeah. And, again, something I didn't know, that was the first time Dogs have been outside of Sydney so far in this comp.
Yeah.
Think about how far Sharks have travelled, Raiders have travelled. The Wars have to travel like that every year anyway. First time the Dogs are out of Sydney.
And they get cleaned up.
They did. Dave, thoughts on how the Broncos played without Reece Walsh?
Yeah, not a
5
surprise,
stars.
is it? But what I thought before the game is I did have a worry for the Bronx because they had no gun back rowers. Their first, second, and third choice back rowers were all out.
And
then-
sorry, can I just say the first, second, and third choice back rowers aren't like superstars anyway.
They're not making it. They're not a walk-up start to many teams anyway. So, but Payne Haas and Pat Garrigan are that good. So they were more than enough for that Bulldogs pack.
Yeah. I'm obviously being flippant and joking as well. I don't think it was purely Reece Walsh not being there that spurred on that performance.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Now, I didn't have time to go back and check out our tips, so I'm just going to assume that I was right. I think I was.
I think we were all on Brisbane, weren't we?
If we were all on Brisbane, if you remember, I'll take your word for it, but I know I was. I just had, Suncorp, Thursday.
Look, I'm going to call myself out here. I'm pretty sure I picked the Dogs.
All right.
Oh, you said you had to because of allegiances with family
Correct.
members?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where's that got you?
I'm still married, so that's good.
All right. Roosters. What about Roosters Dargans? Roosters sharp. Eh?
Oh, can I just say that my 2 favourite things about this game were the Roosters light blue jerseys, big fan of those. And the Sandon Smith dummy.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Sandon Smith generally, he had a blinder.
That's all I've really got to say about that game.
All right.
Yeah. It's Sandon and Teddy show, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dragons?
That's
What?
the perfect representation, Stu. Just a shoulder shrug and a poof.
But it's Anzac Day. They're a side that's renowned for getting up for big occasions and big games, and none of them were there.
Well, Sloan, threw, was it Billy Smith that he threw into the side hoardings, basically?
Yeah, the 1930s street fella, Billy Smith. Yeah.
Yes. So Sloan was up for about 3 minutes.
Yes. So 46-18 was that end score. Yes. What about the Waz kicking the Knights in the bot at 26-12?
They're pretty good, the Waz. Mind you, the Knights aren't great.
Yeah, read some Knights fans' comments on socials on the weekend, hoping that someone would hide Adam O'Brien's passport.
Well, we thought he might be coming back by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ponga looked disinterested at fullback for the Knights. The Warriors were good, but there's something
to be
wrong in
honest,
the Steel City.
Can I throw a tepid take out there based
Please.
on extremely nothing? Is there a chance that at the start of the year, Ponga said to Adam O'Brien, I don't mind, whatever you do with the halves, just choose something and stick with it. So I've got people to start building a game around with. And then again, the chopping and changing. Since O'Brien started the chopping and changing again, is when Ponga started looking like he had the shits, pretty much. So I don't know, maybe it's connected.
Well, the good news is they got new halves pairing again this week.
Oh, because Cogger's back.
Yeah. Campbell.
He's. I thought he was on extended.
Oh, maybe I read that wrong.
Right.
Gee whiz.
We'll have a look at that in a minute. But Schiller had an awful game. And then there was an article the next day about maybe Dom Young would like to go back to the Knights. Well, I'm sure that both parties would probably be happy with that, to be honest. Storm and Bunnies. Bunnies nearly got there.
How much did we underestimate Wayne Bennett when we did our preseason picks? He's got half of a Rabbits team, and they were competitive in this match.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, Jack Whiten, outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it more Bunnies playing well or Storm playing average?
Well, maybe the Bunnies caused the Storm to be off.
I'll give it to the Bunnies, I reckon. I think they played well enough to pressure the Storm into a little bit of
poo ball.
Yeah, a bit of poo footy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a hard thing to do because Hughes was playing, they basically, apart from Harry Grant. Hang on, was Grant playing?
No,
he's out. And
the pie man, Bronson Garlic.
So I give Souths the thumbs up there.
Yeah.
Even though they lost.
All right. Well, the Cowboys flogged the Titans 50-18 on Saturday.
Yeah. What was the score when Titans had 18 though? Was it 18-10?
Yeah, something like that. It was the second week in a row the Titans have gone out to a good lead and then it's all fallen apart. And the thing about it is, the defense is so bad, but I don't know if there's any one or two players singling out. It seems to be across the board. And that seems bizarre, isn't it? In a team of 17 people, that they're all equally defending poorly.
Yeah, out of whack. Just completely out of whack.
But I don't know what it is. I've got this thing with the Titans. I'll be picking them next round, I'm sure. I can't help it. It's
Magic
like
round. It's magic round, Stu. Got to pick the Titans.
it's like that bad girlfriend you can't let go. You just can't leave alone and let go. It's just I'll be back there.
There's
And you're going to hurt you, Stu.
I do not know where that itch is coming from. There's so much woman, but it's
This might be one of those times where it's better if we interrupt you. Sorry, we had a discussion about interrupting Ben too much earlier. Yeah. Oh, look, I don't know what it is. They're playing the Bulldogs, and I'm going to pick them. Anyway, that's the next bit. Panthers, Manly. Manly beat the Panthers.
Manly played well.
They did.
Penrith didn't, but there was a couple of set plays. There was players that played, to their full potential. Manly were great. Penrith were not.
Yeah, I think Manly had to play well at some point soon, and that was it there. The Panthers at Combank.
Still yet to win.
Pattern continues.
wow.
Yeah.
And Olakau'atu playing,
So good.
playing to his appropriate standard for maybe one of the first times this season.
There might have been a mirror on the way out to the field at Combank. He saw how massive he is.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what I was going to say. Like that bomb catch.
Yeah.
When you see
Where he
him
took
up
it out of
against Edwards,
Dylan.
and Edwards looks like a baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be unkind and suggest that perhaps it has something a little bit to do with the fact that State of Origin teams will be picked shortly, but it was good timing either way.
And just having Tommy back, you can see the Panthers' defence, who are already struggling. They all had an eye on Trbojevic out the back, which gave all the other players that little half a step of extra space to create what they did.
Yeah, absolutely. That Cooler try where he wrapped from the being centre on the far side of the field to come around the other side, that timing was probably the best timed set play I've seen this year.
Yeah. And then when he hit that gap, he put the turbos on. It was so quick through there.
Well, the first time I saw it, I thought, no, they're going to
it
call
had to
that
be a
back.
Shepherd.
Yep, they're going to have to call that back. And then I watched it again and went,
Yeah, he's that quick. Dave, persisting with McLean in the centres.
Well, that's over now, thank goodness.
Oh, I haven't looked at that yet. All right, fair enough. Yeah, my note here is surely there's someone in the system that can play centre who you can trust to tackle.
Yeah. And everyone... Well, they won the comp last year with Alamotti at centre, and he was actually really good all the way through to the grand final. And for some reason, Alamotti on the wing, McLean in the centres, and
Yeah. Is it for yards out of your
No.
territory? Because he can do that from centre. Anyway.
Yeah.
Raiders v Dolphins, 40-28 to the Raiders. Another weird one where one team got out to a massive lead and then just caved completely.
Yeah. Was it more great by the Raiders or terrible by the Dolphins, or equal amounts of each to come back the way they did the Raiders?
The Raiders got what you assume is the Ricky Rocket of all time at half time, and they just came out and went, funnily enough, because their emblem's a Viking, they went berserker style and just took them apart. Dolphins, I don't want to say that they got complacent, but because I don't understand how any team in this comp this year can ever get complacent with how even all the sides are.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have just knocked off the Storm and the Panthers in successive weeks. They probably thought, we're doing it again. How good are we
I'll tell you
going?
what I think it is. I'll tell you what. Well, we said last week that the Raiders will win probably because the Dolphins won't be able to get up for 3 games in a row. They got up for 2.5 games.
Yeah.
And then they I think it probably all caught up with them in that second half.
Yeah, maybe.
And that was the end of the round. No other games in this round.
Well, I just wanted to talk about it. It feels like the Raiders, before we move on to heartbreak.
To what? There weren't any other games.
Yeah, before we move on to next week's tips, I've had this feeling about the Raiders that they just score in clumps. Like, I'd be really interested to go back and see throughout the rounds. Like, they have this ability to, if they don't score off the next set, they'll score off the next set after the next set, if you know what I mean. Like, they just go bang, 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 and are back in games all of a sudden.
Yeah, and if you look at the minute by minute with where all the tries are scored, there's going to be 5 minutes for 3 of their tries, and they'll do nothing for 40 minutes.
Yep.
And then their other next 3 tries are within a 5-minute spell as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Hudson Young on the bench for New South Wales.
He's back. He was there a couple of years ago.
yeah. I mean, I think
So many back rowers.
Yeah. So many bench players.
I don't know when we'll do it because it'll take some time, but it might be good to get some predicted Origin teams going soon.
Yep.
Back rowers for New South Wales, anybody?
Well, it's
Where
the
do you
New South Wales
start?
back rowers. That's what it'll be.
All back row bench. Okay, Tigers 20, Sharks 18. I'm so angry. I'm not angry because Sharks lost. I'm angry because I watched some of the dumbest footy
Oh, my God.
I have seen in
Yeah.
so long from both sides.
Tigers were guilty of it too.
Yeah, definitely from
The game management from both sides, probably
Horrific.
but
the last 15 minutes particularly.
But I don't remember being this angry. Under 13 sides know that you don't have to get right up to the try line to set up for a field goal. If you do, you're giving them more chance to rush up and block it. Like, maybe take a field goal attempt on the 4th tackle if you're in position and you've got a strong wind behind your back. I don't
still don't
understand how they can get paid so much and not have the fucking... They've played for years and can't get these simple fucking ideas right.
This one's going to hurt too. You go first, man.
I just want to make a point around, I think the 3 times we had a crack at field goal.
No, 5.
Sorry, well,
The Tigers had 1 shot. The Sharks had 5,
did we have 5?
including a 2-point field goal attempt.
The one that hit the post. It felt like Fanua Blake had the preceding hit up on all of those attempts. And for someone that for the last 5 years has prided himself on being someone that gets really fast play the balls, unable to hit the deck and get back up, like basically just got held up, which gave them plenty of time to set their defensive line.
Yeah.
Which the Tigers were doing on purpose because they were waiting for 5th tackle every
Yes.
time. Guaranteed that doesn't happen if they tried to field goal on the 3rd or 4th tackle when they were in position to be able to do it most of the time.
Like, where's McInnes? Get McInnes to just run at their legs, Danny Nutley style, and get up, play the ball quick, and we're a red-hot chance. Dave, you were going to make a point, and then I want to talk about 4 things that happened.
Oh, shit. All right.
The point I was going to mention before was about 5 attempts to 1. But there was one set, I can't remember. You were running right to left on the screen, so I don't know if that was before full time. Then, when Trindle is in, you've just had 3 massive runs up the field. The 3 big boys of Talakai, Fanua Blake, and Hazelton all had mad runs right up the guts, and you're in position. You're great, and Trindle runs left.
Yeah, it puts Talakai basically into the freaking sideline.
Yeah. What was that?
I don't know. But there are 4 things that happened in the last 10 minutes of the game when it was all tied up and two of them were two of the most magnificent tackles I've seen on rampaging forwards. Like Nakora ran that line back in towards the posts, and I went up in the lounge room and just went, "Wah!" And then he got absolutely axed, and I cannot remember who tackled him.
Terrell May,
who played for 960 minutes.
In one of his 85 minutes that he played.
That's incredible. So he poleaxed Nakora, which was just phenomenal. And then Hazelton got pulled down by Galvin literally by his shoelaces. And from both of those plays, I think it was, the next play left where we had him absolutely shredded. The first one, Mulatalo tries to score from 7 metres out and loses the ball. Yeah. And then Atkinson rolls over and the ball comes out because he was trying to, pick his arm up to reach out again. Yeah. And it's just two of the stupidest plays following two of the most magnificent tackles you've seen. And it was just like the two ends of rugby league, like the incredible athletic feats and phenomenal technique, and then people that we expect to make really clear decisions when they get bashed in the head for 80 minutes a week do really stupid stuff and we get frustrated.
Yes. Like, is that your way of saying I shouldn't be so upset? Because
mate, I'm fucking filthy.
Footy players and they've all got, constant concussion.
This stuff affects me too much for like the hour and a half after the game.
Yeah.
When it's so frustrating. I don't get anywhere near the joy. Like the joy replication when we win is nowhere near the frustration when we lose a game like that. Like that affects me for a good 90 minutes to 2 hours after the game. And then I'll think about it and everything will be fine. But after we win, I kind of walk away and go, yeah, we probably should have won that. And I just let it go. Yeah. So dumb.
Yeah. I suppose that's the thing about following a team that's been around the top four for quite a few years now. But the fact that Lockie Galvin came back in and played like nothing had happened, and there'd been like it was crisp and smooth and they all gelled together really well. It's just a testament to what kind of talent he is, I think.
Yeah. I yelled forward on that first pass really loudly and then watched it again. It was sort of like the Kohler thing.
Yeah.
It was...
All right.
First look.
We need to move on. I just want to say I want to put one word out there and you can choose to respond to it or not. Nico.
Well, that's funny. I want to respond to that because I was thinking about... I follow a lot of Sharks fans on Twitter, and one in particular... one comment in particular got me, where it's like, does anyone else's halfback where they're in the clutch moment, ice in your veins and all that stuff, set to take the ball and quickly tucks his hair behind his ear before he receives the ball in the motion to kick a field goal? Because he did.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to blame the loss on hair tucks, but I don't know. In some moments, you just see players and you feel like they're going to go clutch. I just don't feel like he's been anywhere near going clutch for 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah. I feel so much more confident with the ball in Trindle's hands.
Yeah. I don't want to be saying this because he's a great bloke. Everyone knows that. And
he's got a shitload of talent.
Yeah, he's very talented. But it feels to me like he's got the longest yips I've ever seen a player have. And I just don't know, like, can you get the yip so bad you never recover?
Well, I mean, that ball he threw for the Kennedy try.
Yeah, fantastic.
Fantastic ball. Like, run the ball and throw passes like that. Just keep doing that. That's pretty simple.
Yeah. Don't worry, I will just We'll just run the same team out though next week. So it doesn't matter.
On the flip side,
will we though?
Yeah, will you? Terrell May,
Oh.
back to Terrell May being like a freakish footballer. What could he have possibly done to get punted from the Roosters? Like,
Yeah.
did he kill someone?
No,
I mean-
that would have kept him on.
Yeah, because you can work around that.
I can say what I
you're
keep
the Roosters,
reading, but we don't have lawyers, so I won't.
Okay, cool. We'll do that one offline.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, come on. We've got to do our predictions, which I'll hopefully remember to look at before we record next week. It's Magic Round Monty, so I don't have to tell you each of the grounds. It's all at one spot in Brisbane at a place called Suncorp. Sharks and Eels. Now that's 7th v 16th. Do I feel confident? Not in the slightest.
Why do the Sharks have the short turnaround against a team that's coming off the bye?
I don't know. And, Dave, thank you for bringing that up. We play the team that's coming off the bye next week as well. Manly. 2 weeks in a row we're playing teams coming off the bye.
Manly doesn't have to go to Brisbane.
No. Look, yeah. Kale Iro, and that's K letters KL, because he's that's how I'd like to be addressed now. Iro is back, which is great timing because Hirodi's knee fell off. And Amlin Welle is back on the bench for
Braden Burns.
No, Billy Burns.
Billy Burns.
Still in the second row. Teague Wilton's still out. Hazelton, I don't know who that's for. Anyway.
Does Iro want to be recognised as a Malaysian airport?
Hey, nice. And then, yes. Who cares about Parramatta? I don't know. They've some guy called Charlie's in their second row now.
Goima.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Short turnaround scares me. It's a thing, guys.
Yeah.
Short turnaround
And Golden Point.
and Moses. So Sharks here are $1.49, Eels $2.64. Again, I don't feel that's right.
Something about Iro back in the centres fills me with joy.
That's good.
I'm looking forward to that. I will be, as part of my tip, he'll be in my try scorers list.
How do you feel about Billy Burns being in there 3 weeks in a row?
No.
I mean, he has to be.
I mean, he was okay. He was fine,
good.
but he's not as dynamic as
Teague. Big
Teague.
Teague. Yeah.
How about this? You want to talk about bets and tips?
I
How about
do.
this? How about this? Sharks lose this week. I'm going for the Bears in 2027. And I'm not going to follow Sharks until the Bears come in.
Holy.
Well,
If they can't have that end of that game last week and sort themselves out to turn it around this week, they forget it. Book a September holiday already.
That's some PVL size nut work there. Well done.
I'm going to tip the Eels straight up.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Sharks by 1. They're going to get that field goal.
Oh, wow.
Fuck you.
So does that mean that Hines will be wearing tape over his hair this week?
Oh, he's going to shave his head.
Should wear headgear.
Yeah.
Then he doesn't have to fix his hair.
I'm going to say Parramatta as well. I just think the way Moses played last week, I'm scared. I'm very worried. All right, Roosters and Dolphins. Pretty much even in the betting. Let's see about the sides. No change to the Roosters. Felice Kafusi comes back because Daniel Saifidi is out. And Marshall King's back.
Okay. I'm a big fan of Hugo Saliva. I reckon he's good. I do. I actually think he's pretty bloody good. I like his kicking game. I like that he's 7 foot tall.
Yeah. Tall halfbacks
Yeah.
worry me a lot. I don't know why. They just do.
And I think I'm going to take the Finns in Brisbane,
Yeah.
Yeah,
straight up.
That's what I'll be doing.
I'll go the Roosters to be contrary, but I'm going to say I'm going to tip 60-plus points in this match.
Ooh.
I'm going to tip Angus Crichton to bury someone else's face 2 feet into the ground. Maybe Cody Nikorima, whoever the smallest person is on the other side.
What is the line on that?
All right. Rabbits and Knights. Rabbits are the favourites, $1.70 to Knights $2.16. No Mitchell, of course. Jai Gray back into fullback. Ewan Aitken in the centres with Campbell Graham. New halves pairing Jack White and Jaden Sullivan. And as foreshadowed, Jack Cogger back for the Knights. So and different halves combo again.
Did anyone keep a tab on Mama Zealous'
Shoulder brushes?
shoulder brushes?
No.
No, I
Missed
didn't.
it. Sorry.
I didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'm going to take the Rabbits, and I'm going to take them 13 plus.
Oh, I'm going to go the Knights 13-plus. They've got their forwards back, and the Rabbits are missing so many, surely. If not now, then never for Knights, because otherwise they're going to have to... They're just going to carry the $2 million coach contract into oblivion.
Yeah. Adam Elliott back too. I think I've got to go Knights in a close one by 4. No confidence in that whatsoever.
Okay, well, I'm going to say... I'm just going to add to mine a little bit, just to add a 2-legger. I'm going to say South 13 plus, Jack White and Mom.
Wow.
Cool.
13 plus.
He's going to have to do a lot for them to do that, I reckon.
All right. What about Wars and Cowboys?
Yeah, good grief.
This is going to be a cracker.
Tamari Martin is back on the bench. Laban's out for the Warriors. Yeah, what do you think? 50. The Cowboys put 50 on last week. Can they do it again?
I'll go the Cowboys because of the travel factor. That's what's going to decide it for me.
I'm going to go Cowboys because Jason Taumalolo looked like he used to last weekend.
He looked like a $10 million man.
Yeah, exactly. He was carrying blokes half a field. Fantastic. Dearden's on fire. Drinky's on fire.
Nanai
Yep.
is back.
Also,
dangerous.
Purdue. How do you Purdue?
He's
I
speedy,
hear it
runs
and
great
I know.
lines.
Purdue, I know you want to take me home. All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to take the Cows. I'll take the Cows 1-12 because of the Queensland factor. I think the 3 Queensland sides just have a little bit extra.
What about the 4th Queensland?
Yeah, I was
side?
about to say.
They don't?
They have to go an hour up the freeway.
No.
No.
Gold Coast don't count.
How about Tigers and Dragons? 9th plays 10th. The betting's pretty much even.
This is so tough because the Tigers are going to be riding a bit of a high and the Dragons will have gotten the Flanagan 5 fingers of death after last week.
Yeah.
But
so Ilias dropped by the Dragons. That's a cold dropping.
Cold Nepo dropping.
Well, yeah. Yeah, there's a bit to be said about that, I think. But anyway.
Maybe he needed the spell to reconstruct his face.
Well, that's very possible. Go back and look at it if you haven't. It was, you pay a lot of money for that kind of treatment.
Can Terrell May keep doing the superhuman stuff?
I don't, I get that he can play those minutes. I don't get why do you make him?
Well, he was still as effective in the 87th minute as he was in the first 3 minutes. So
Yeah. Apparently he went home, played 85 minutes and went home and started live streaming Call of Duty for his followers.
did he?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Geez.
I'm going Tigers. Sorry, just to jump in there while
Yeah.
there was a gap.
No, that's good. Are you going Tigers as well,
too.
Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tigers, their halves pairing is just
Good.
too good.
Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9 for
Yep.
the Tigers. Galvin, Luai, May, and Appy.
How's Appy's? Was it his ankle?
You don't Appy. But they got De Silva anyway, who's also...
Yeah, cool. He was
good.
he was freaking electric.
Yeah.
Every time he touched the ball, he looked like he was going to do something good.
All right.
Yeah, I'll have the Tigers, and I will have the Tigers 13 plus.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
They're going to have enough
This
energy
one-
left?
This one I'm really looking forward to, Stu. Take us through the next game.
Titans and Dogs. Titans $4, Bulldogs $1.25.
Who are you tipping, Stu?
I'm tipping the Titans because I'm a maniac. No, I just think... I don't know. I don't want to... I think maybe a bit of shine has come off the Dogs. Bit of...
The invincibility
They're
aura.
a cricket ball that they've been cracked through square leg a few times. Bit of shine's come off it. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. And, yeah, they're travelling, again, out of Sydney. Ooh. You have to go back to Suncorp, where they just got decimated.
And they've lost Curran, Burton, and Tupanua.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And, yeah, I don't know. I expect more from the Titans. I just do, Dave. I'm sorry.
With that in mind, I will be taking the Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Straight.
of course. You have to.
Yes.
I'll just take the Titans straight up 1-12. I'm not an idiot. But, yeah, but 1-12 will do me, Dave.
$4, I think. Oh. Do you know if the Dogs came home and then flying back up again?
I don't know that. That's a good question, though. It would be crazy if they did, wouldn't
Yeah, because if they did, I'm going to pick the Titans too.
it? Yeah.
No, I'll have to go the Dogs, even with all those outs.
And Panthers and Broncos is your final game of Magic. Oh, no, it's not. Your second last game of Magic Round. Excuse me.
Scott Sorensen has failed his request to get his charge downgraded, so he's out.
Right. So, yeah, Luke Garner in at centre instead of Casey McLean now, eh?
Yeah, maybe not, because someone has to fill in for Scott Sorensen.
Oh, I see. Yes. Would Paps not go straight into the second round?
And then bring Patea onto the bench in
Yeah.
Papali'i's spot, maybe. But the Broncos were so good last week.
Yeah. Oh, Dave.
This
At
could
home.
be like the
50,000.
And can I say something that might not seem like a big thing, but I think is Schneider's out, which brings how do you pronounce his name? Talau
Talau.
as the 14 onto the bench, who didn't look that great when last time he was having an outing. So
I like him. He's a good young half, but
He's a good young lad.
I don't know why you need a young half on your bench.
yes, tips please, guys.
13 plus Bronx.
Yeah, I'll go the Broncos.
I too will go the Broncos, but maybe not by 13 plus, maybe 1-12 again.
I would like to have anytime try scorer
Yep,
Yeah.
Xavier Willison.
that's
I was
not
going to
bad.
say the same, but Liam Martin.
All right, well, you can do that.
Thank you.
Storm v Raiders. Storm's $1.50, Raiders $2.58. Again, I don't understand.
Unreal.
I would have thought this was quite even, to be quite honest. What can I tell you about the sides? Kamakamika's possibly coming back. Not too sure. Big Sasquatch, Sofa Solomona on extended bench. And that's about it.
That's about it.
I think if he comes back, it cancels out some of the power of the Raiders forwards. They've definitely got the form forward pack of the comp right now, the Raiders.
Yeah.
How good is Nicholson?
He's great.
Come from nowhere and he's amazing.
And I just find his body shape fascinating. He would be a real difficult challenge to line up against, to defend against.
Yeah, and he's a hot stepper.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to take the Raiders
Same.
1-12.
Same.
We're all going Raiders.
Wow.
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 I think it's if the Raiders win in the forwards, they win. But if the Storm can match them in the forwards, the Storm backline's got Hughes, Munster, Pappy.
They are not the Storm without Grant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a big problem him not being there for them, I think.
Well, isn't that funny? Because we were talking a couple of weeks ago about how big a difference Hughes makes.
Yeah.
But Hughes comes back and no Grant, and they do seem a little bit tepid.
I honestly think that Grant makes a bigger difference than Hughes.
That is not a tepid take at all. That is a beautifully crafted and whittled and sanded down take that has been presented from the gods.
Yes.
And that's the thing. The salary cap is in full swing. The squads are all pretty much even across the comp now. Everyone's got a few gun players. Any team now takes one or two of those players out, they're going to struggle a bit.
And yes, that's correct. On that thought, we got to go. Bye, everyone. Have an NRL of a time. Enjoy your Magic Round.
Enjoy Magic Round. Good to see you.
This is an Angry Chimp podcast.